She's a good She's probably having children. It's enough for them.
Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much and welcome tonight. Begin with the roll call, please, Nancy.
Grass.
Here.
Stufflebean.
Here.
Boggs.
Here.
Fleming.
Here.
Rose.
Here.
And Black. Oh, thank you.
Dave Black is out for medical reasons.
Thank you.
You've all had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting. I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes when someone is prepared.
So.
Motion by Chuck, seconded by Ken Stufflebeam. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. I have correspondence tonight in the form, Roland will be here soon. He's at the Pinewood Derby with his grandson just next door at the YMCA, so he should be here. Letter from Randy Welch. Dear Roland, please accept this letter of resignation from the Zoning Board of Appeals. I am grateful for the opportunity to have served on this board for 14 years. It is time for me to retire and give this opportunity to younger members of our community. Please make this effective March 7th, 2022. Randy A. Welch. So we need to think of someone else for the Zoning Board of Appeals. Is there a motion to accept his resignation?
So moved.
Thank you very much. A second. Second by Chuck. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, this is the time for general comments from the audience. Is there anyone here who would like to offer comments at this time? Yes. Andy?
Just a report on the Easter egg hunt. Getting it going. Everything's going good. Would like to know if the city would like to donate to the Easter egg hunt. It's been okay.
Are you going to suggest an amount?
Just whatever.
Are you gonna do bicycle giveaways?
Yes.
How many bicycles do you have and how many?
I have got 8 right now. And then I've got to get 3 more. Sorry, 9. I get 3 more. $78. Then just get some little prize things. If I get some little fishing poles and
$350 for about one. Much, not enough.
that's important.
I'd give you money for fishing poles.
Yeah.
Other stuff.
Because we're doing an adult one too. I've had nice bottle of bourbon you want to find.
Make a motion that we donate $350 to the Easter egg hunt for the PD and McDonald's combined.
Any suggestions or is there a second to the motion?
A second.
Motion has been seconded. Roll call, please, Nancy.
Stubblebee,
Yes.
Bobs,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Brass.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good
Thank
luck,
you.
Andy. Thank you
Thank
very much
you.
for doing it. Council, you've had a chance to look at the bills that are presented for payment. I would entertain a motion to approve those bills unless there are questions of Dave or Rollin, and good luck.
I have one question. Under the police, there was a $3,800 repair at Kyle Enterprise. Chevy repairs. I just wondered where is that at? On the bills we paid. Is that Kyle over by Prairie City?
I think that's over there.
Isles ain't ours. That's the red truck.
That's
That's
it.
the red down.
Yeah.
I think it's there, but it's in the wrong
They
place.
got in the wrong place. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Dave said that that's where they had their big 2-ton truck
Yeah, that was the rear end.
repaired.
So it's just, it shouldn't be under police.
It should
be
not, it
somewhere
shouldn't.
else.
Correct.
Okay.
It's also in the police though too.
Oh, well,
Yeah, it's in 2 places.
I didn't see the one up the street.
Well, we'll make sure we only issue one check.
Good one. That's my only question.
Is that a motion to approve then, other than that, with that exception? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dave Rose. Thank you very much. Roll call, please. Nancy?
I didn't hear who first. Okay, thank
Chuck
you.
did.
Chuck,
Yes.
well, Brass. Sorry, Stubblebee,
Yes.
Boggs,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have the the account balances as the end of February. There were no wire transfers within accounts. But it shows total funds received of $173,723. Total expenses of $70,705. Is there a motion to accept that as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Stufflebeam, seconded by Nathan. Thank you very much. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And you can see from the TIF report, there is nothing to report. There's been no activity. Still have a balance of $594,303.31. Chief, the police department report.
Our ordinance work is starting to pick up quite a bit. We got some new guys teaching them how to write the ordinance letters and what they're looking for, so anticipate that to start kicking in the high gear this month. Next month. Myself, my wife, the mayor, and his wife, we all were chili taste test judges at the chili cook-off in Moose Lodge Super Bowl Sunday. Went over pretty well. Canine Officer Steck was called to Mount Sterling, Illinois, to do a canine search of the prison there for drugs and weapons. Officer Walker started his first shift on the 21st for the department. He's been assigned to the swing shift, which covers second and third shift. And Officer Utzinger completed the school resource officer training class in Peoria. Now he's state certified as a school resource officer.
Any questions of the chief?
Motion to approve the police report.
Thank you, Joey. Motion by Joey to approve the police report. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Chuck. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Joey.
Close enough.
Thank you.
Under old business, I have an update on the rails to trails. Couple things. At the end of the month, end of February, I received a copy of a letter from, actually it's to the attorney for Hannah City Rails to Trails. It's from the Peoria County Administrator. And he says in his letter that there are two reasons for writing it. First, I'll just read part of it to you. First, I wish to reaffirm the County of Peoria's longstanding commitment to the acquisition of the Hannah City Trail. We remain steadfast in our belief that this will be an asset to our community. We look forward to the sale being finalized and are prepared to issue a check for our share of the local match for acquisition once receiving an invoice. Second, and more poignantly, I wish to share with you and Mayor Kowal the county's position on some of the terms of the draft intergovernmental agreement based on the draft dated February 2, 2022. We understand the terms of the grant agreement from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources to be that the village shall control ownership of the trail's right-of-way in perpetuity. This would stand to reason that the village will shoulder all of the liability and maintenance. As a means to address this, we have long advocated for and appreciate the creation of the commission. Our disagreement lies with the cost sharing proposed in the agreement. When our participation in the acquisition was considered by the county board, the board had a much different impression of the county's long-term liabilities, financial and otherwise. In its current form, the county cannot be a party to the intergovernmental agreement. So, there have been no meetings yet as a result of that letter. I've not talked with Fred about it and not talked directly with our attorneys. But that might change some things. So I wanted you to know, everybody to know that Peoria County will front the money for the acquisition, but that's as far right now as they're prepared to go. The second item came in as an email to me today, and that was on your desk. I think everybody got a copy. And this is from whom I hope to be our new attorney, William Streeter, if that's approved by the council tonight. And he passes on the email from Jenicky Nair, the attorney for Hannah City, who passed on an email from Farnsworth and Associates regarding the maintenance cost on the trail. And that's on the last, well, the next to the last page, next to the last page. She breaks down based upon, and I'll read this for everybody's benefit. Once again, it's from an engineer from Farnsworth Group. Based on nationwide averages provided by IDOT and other agencies, trail maintenance costs can vary from $0 per mile to more than $100,000 per mile per year. Considering the average maintenance costs for surface material types and examining maintenance and operation reports from several sources over the past 10 years, the weighted average is estimated to be $2,000 per mile for routine maintenance activities. By setting aside funds every year, funds would be available to make minor repairs or match funds for major renovations. The percentage of annual cost for each routine maintenance activity was gathered from a survey of over 90 trail managers performed by Rails to Trails Conservancy. So that's what I'd like you to focus on, is the annual maintenance cost of estimated to be $2,000 per mile.
And total miles again was how many?
Total miles of 24.7. And our share of that would be normally a mile and a half outside of the city limits, which would be 4 point something miles, around 4 miles. But there's also the area to be considered from the edge of Farmington to Middle Road. If you consider that for annual maintenance, that'd be another 6 miles of trail. So,
No, we're not, as soon as they write a check, we're not expecting this thing to be in usable condition inside of a week.
No.
You know, I think that, you know, we're gonna develop this thing as funds and projects are completed. Yeah, we may do an initial clearing and there might be a lot of volunteer work and things, but, you know, this thing is years in the making, as was the Rock Island Trail, correct?
I think it would be years, yes. You know, and Joey asked the same question last time, I think, or alluded to it. You know, how much we're going to commit to it, what we're going to do to it. And I think I've always been in the impression that it might cost $10,000, maybe $15,000 a year to maintain it, to devote that much funds to it. But that doesn't count for the original clearing, which would be volunteer, or maybe not. But yeah, it would be a project that would take a long time.
You know, we might designate, you know, the first mile, you know, this is our 5-year plan.
We could.
And so,
We could. Or we could just take the mile that runs through town
yeah.
to the school. But that's the way it was originally set up, that we could do with our section what we wanted to do with our section.
Correct.
Now, since that time, it's become a little more sharing in that Fulton County dropped off, so now everybody's kind of absorbing to some degree their portion of the trail that they would have had. But the agreement that was handed out last week has not been finalized. I've not signed anything. And in light of this Peoria County, why, I don't know what Fred's stance is going to be. I don't know what your stance is going to be. But it's something we'll consider before we go forward. Any other comments, questions?
We really don't have all the answers.
No, we really don't. You know, evidently, according to this, the environmental study is completed, and we kind of, I would say, we honorably accepted our share of the cost of that, $16,000. Our share would be around $4,000. With Peoria County evidently not willing to assume any of it. That, of course, puts an extra burden on Hennessy, and we haven't talked about that. So when we do, when we have a meeting, we'll keep you informed. Okay. On a similar note, under new business, I included in your packet the engagement contract with Hasselberg, Grebe, Snodgrass, Urban, and Wentworth, specifically William Streeter, who is the attorney that has actually already been working to some degree on the Rails for Trails on our behalf. So I would anticipate and encourage a motion to approve his employment and engagement for the city of Farmington at a cost of $150 per hour.
I'd like to make that motion that we hire Mr. Streeter at $150 an hour until we further get more clarification of the rails to trails.
Thank you, Joey. Is there a second?
I'll second that. I'm glad that we're retaining our own counsel to make sure that we're square with this.
I think it should be money well spent, and I don't think it'll be a lot. I hope. Thank you, Ken. Is it second by Ken? Roll call, please, Nancy.
Boggs,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Grass,
Yes.
Stephenson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to delay the discussion of the budget. I know you have that in front of you. Roland put that together over the last few weeks. And keep in mind that maybe if you don't have any questions, we'll go ahead, but keep in mind that is the budget for the current year we're in. The budget requirement was delayed because of COVID, but that's been lifted, and so this is the budget that is really the 21-22 budget. So it's not, next year does not reflect anything.
It started May 1st.
That's correct.
2020.
Yeah. And Dave has had a chance to look at it, Dave Black. And I've had a chance to look at it, and Ronald's gone over it several times, and I didn't see any glaring discrepancies on it. It's not going to be a perfect budget, but it's a budget shows that reflects that we're in the black for the year, of course. And I think we just need to have discussion of it tonight, and we'll have the hearing scheduled for our next meeting. Are there any questions on the budget?
No.
Thank you. All right, so thank you very much. You want to join us, Rollins?
No, I'm doing
All
fine. I like it over here.
right, you stay there. You stay there. We're about done now. The next item is the discussion of change of statement of economic interest form. And you've been given a copy of the statement of economic interest, and you've been given an IML explanation sheet that reflects the changes that are required this year. And I'd like to have a little discussion about it. I know that a couple of you have that ready to turn in. But I want to make sure that you note the differences in it this year over prior years, in that it's very much more detailed than past years, specifically in that it addresses and says that you have to disclose every asset that is in the amount of $10,000 or more. And the assets are listed on the sheet, on the explanation sheet.
Turn it on in. I'm gonna retrieve.
And I know that within recent days, Brad Cole from IML, who is our representative in Springfield, has received several questions, emails from municipal officers who object to this and have questions about it. And I got the idea, Roland, you correct me, I got the idea that they were going to reconsider it.
They're looking at revamping.
Okay.
They don't really want to know the dollar amount that you have, but they need to know what product it is.
Right.
And I don't see any reason for it myself.
So, for instance, if you have $10,000 worth of Caterpillar stock, and if you have $10,000 worth of Google or Facebook, you're going to put down 10,000, put down those stocks. If you have a mutual fund, you're going to list the mutual fund. And it's not only yours, but it's your wife's or anything that you have an interest in. So I think it's overreach by the state legislature. I think they've overdone it. And I don't know how many people are going to object to it, but I certainly do. I mean, I can fill it out, but
At this juncture, I have to have them turned in by May 1st to the Fulton County Clerk. So don't necessarily get real antsy to get it filled out now the way it is, because there could be some changes coming. And if there are, it would be reflected in the form.
I sent Brad Cole an email today, probably a couple days, should have done it a couple days earlier, and asked him, what the status was, if there were different ideas being tossed around, but I mean, I think there'd be some people in town who, all over the state, who would say, I'm not going to tell you what my assets are, it's none of your business, and I'm not going to serve on the council.
And that was my next question, ramifications if you don't meet these requirements, you cannot be on the council. That's where they're at with it.
It's required as it stands right now. So that will be pending, I think.
So we need to hold off on that.
Just hold off on us, we'll pursue it.
Okay. Any other comments, Ron?
Final Derby was fun.
Good.
How'd you do?
Didn't get first, second, or third. We're fine.
Yeah, had fun, though, correct?
Okay. The next item on new business is declaration of state of a local emergency again. I'm sure you gave that to me, Ryan, so you did. We thought we were done, but we got renewed. Pursuant to the authority vested in the office of mayor by the Illinois Municipal Code, section 511-1-6, the Illinois Emergency Management Agency Act, section 330511, and ordinance 2020-06 of the city of Farmington. I, Kent Colwell, mayor of the city of Farmington, do hereby declare that a local state of emergency exists as of this date, April 22, 2020, and shall continue until such time as provided in ordinance 2020-06. And that the nature of the emergency is a nationwide pandemic of the COVID-19 virus. And with that, we'll go to committee reports, if we could. Joey Boggs on public safety.
That's a report, sir, other than what the chief and Andy added.
Thank you. Ken Stufflebeam on sewer.
Nothing to report tonight, sir.
And Nathan on streets and sidewalks.
Nothing tonight, sir.
Handrails are up and they're in good shape.
They look nice.
Everybody weighs in, they look nice. Okay, thank you. Dave Rose, Parks and Recreation,
Nothing to report.
and Chuck Rask, Public Grounds and Buildings.
Nothing to report, sir.
Thank you. That time of meeting again for general comments. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the council? Roland, do you have anything to address the council?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Seconded by,
Well, you can make that. Second.
all in favor, signify by saying aye. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm worried about you. Turn it into Old Fort. You didn't turn it into Old Fort.
Hit in stream.
I had
How do I do?
Apparently you did all right, you didn't have to call.
Pretty well laid out.